I started on kind of this vegan path more because of health challenges. I started getting sick. I wasn't feeling well. Had to go to the emergency room. They didn't know what to do. They just pumped me
Whoa.
full of, basically saline solution, said, oh, you're probably just dehydrated. We're going to send you home. And what I started to do is say, okay, I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to take some of these things out. So I stopped eating beef and meat and so
Wow.
forth. And I started to kind of walk through that journey that a lot of people have where they start taking things out kind of one at a time. And I went through that process. It took me a few years to start taking things out. And then I thought I had arrived. I was like, I'm a vegetarian now.
Yeah, right.
And this is before I got educated.
It's that dairy wake-up call. Yep.
Yes. And that's the thing. I was really fortunate because I moved to Connecticut. I had been traveling, I had been doing jobs, I'd worked for corporate America. So I was all over the place, eating all these different places. I was a big vegetarian, getting everybody to eat vegetarian at the table.
Okay.
And I started to join a group that had vegans and vegetarians. And I started hanging out a little more with the vegans. And someone pulled me to the side and they were like, you're saying that you're worried about your health, but they were like, do you understand what happens with dairy? And I said, oh, no, I didn't. What do you mean? All the commercials.
Right.
And I started to get more educated.
Okay.
And then when I really got kind of bopped upside the head was when I understood the animal suffering.
Yeah.
When I started to understand not just what happens on the meat side, but on the dairy side and what I was perpetuating. And the choices that I was making, the impact that it had on these animals. And the idea that it's not something I had to do. It's not something I needed. And the idea was they really kind of woke me up and really woke up a little bit of my kind of animal rights and activist kind of perspective to help me understand that I could act on things and make a difference in the world and also make a difference for animals. So I started with the health, but really what makes me stay vegan, makes me active in the movement, what really makes this a really big passion for me are the animals. If you're trying to find your way, that's part of the process. So don't feel like you should have known, you should have, don't put that pressure on you. The key is what you're learning now is so important, and make sure, you're acting now and acting moving forward.
You want to live to be a grandfather.
I'm loving it, and I think that you will too.
We're on this incredible planet, and there doesn't appear to be another one.
You have this revered life.
When there's so many alternatives that are better.
We will achieve our goal.